egos. I've seen many in the crowd who moved from being yesterday's ways to shape tomorrow's landscape. What are the things that you take a lot of pride in originality? You have to think of good of yourself, for the world takes you at your own estimate. Never stoop down in order to gain recognition. Never let go of your true self to win a relationship. In the long run, you'll regret that you traded your greatest glory, that is your uniqueness, for momentary validation. The group that does not accept you is not your world. There's a world for each one of you, where you shall reign as king or queen by just being yourself. Find that world. In fact, that world is going to find you. What water can do, gasoline cannot. What copper can, gold cannot. The fragility of the ant enables it to move, while the rigidity of the tree enables it to stay rooted. 40 students in companies, folks. That includes the 120 internship. Folks, this is no small feat. If you consider the fact we have well over 640 students that have been placed on campus. Just because a group of people do not accept you as you are, papers and case studies, and also presented their work in reputed conferences. What are the two indicators asked for at Great Lakes Management? Our faculty this past academic year published more than 50 publications and articles and presented papers in both.
And the mightiest democracy of India are forging alliances of unprecedented nature, no matter which party becomes the president or the prime minister. One thing that is happening now is the question of creating prosperity, peace and harmony. And to facilitate that, tremendous amount of changes is happening. The fourth industrial revolution that we are facing right now, which changes the way with which we operate. And a Tesla car is orbiting in the space. Tremendous amount of great companies which were existing for years together, hundreds of years, like Eastman Kodak, and you can name a lot. And nobody ever even expected Toys R Us, which is a fantastic model, going bankrupt. But all these things are happening at the same time. There are some great companies are also growing up. Amazon.com is now a buzzword for everybody, how they are changing the whole space. The entire supermarket in Seattle is not manned by anybody. And they are trying to come up with some alliances with something like Whole Foods. Mergers and acquisitions. And similarly, tremendous amount of partnership of various countries are happening. Why are these things happening in spite of the fact that there are some problems from terrorists, problems from dacoits, problems from mafiosis, but still the power of the entire world is changing. I watched, because I am a friend of A.R. Rahman, time I thought there's a chance for him to get the Oscar award. Mohan Lakam Raju to give the graduation address. Mohan.
Good morning, folks. A distinguished guest, Robert, Dean Dr. Bala, my fellow board members, Associate Director, Associate Dean Vaidi, fellow faculty and colleagues, all the students and parents and other distinguished guests present here. It's definitely a huge privilege for me.
It made so much sense. Those of you who haven't heard that or read that speech, I strongly recommend that you do. Now, while those appealed to me a lot, so I took inspiration from that and I said, okay, like what are the things that I have experienced I've learned over the past 20 years of my professional career that I could share with you that might be of some use. So that's what I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes or so. I think the first and most important thing is to find out sooner or rather than later what is it that you care about. In other words, find your passion. It took me a while. It took me multiple things and multiple arenas, domains, before I could find my own passion. To give you some personal history, I went to the US to do my PhD program at Berkeley, like most students at IIT. And then only after I spent a couple of years there, I realized that I do not want to be an academic. I do not want to be a professor, and actually want to be an entrepreneur, right? This is late 90s in the Bay Area. Really enjoyed doing that, and then went to business school. When I went to business school, it made me really think about what is it that I wanted to do. And I realized that I actually don't care about technology for the sake of technology. Right? There are many people in Silicon Valley who just love technology. They like technology for the sake of technology. And I realized that I'm not one of them. For me, technology is a tool. It's a mechanism to solve a problem in the world. Right? And I found too much of what happens in Silicon Valley to be technology for the sake of technology. Technology that solves very incremental problems. Right? Or technology that solves first world problems, and I could not associate with that. I decided to move back to India. That's something that I always wanted to do. India, unlike the US, has many fundamental problems, and I always found that appealing. Right? After business school, I became an investor. I thought at that time that being an investor is a very good way to have impact. Right? And that's what I wanted to do.
By congratulating all of you who are graduating here today. We're here to recognize your efforts and to celebrate your accomplishments. The degrees you will receive reflect your dedication and hard work. You've earned them, and be proud of this achievement. Recognize the educators who provided this opportunity for all of you to learn. The work of an educator is a tremendous best in each and every student.
Really?
And as such, I would like to salute Dr. Balachandran, who had the vision to found this institution, Professor Jayaraman, who for his work in building. You know, the United States is often called a land of opportunity. But I think many of you would agree with me that opportunity and the entrepreneurial spirit are alive and well in abundance here in India today. And in this atmosphere of opportunity, the United States and India have only deepened their business relationship as trade and investment have grown from India to the United States and from the United States to India. These ties in research and development, in professional education, and through manufacturing supply chains makes us ever closer partners. As we heard today, the new partnership between the other IIT in Chicago and the Great Lakes
Degree from a prestigious, outstanding institution represents a significant accomplishment in itself. But as you move out into your careers, please remember that this gift, this education, also brings with it great responsibilities. And I'd like to leave you with 3 simple thoughts about that kind of responsibility. As you achieve success in business in your careers, remember always to give back to your communities.